You will have 10 minutes. I'll let you know when the 2-minute warning comes up. What is your favorite dinosaur?
Oh, I will go with the Stegosaurus.
Oh, good one. It's a good one. Great choice. All right, Theo, take it away.
Okay. Yeah. Morning again, everybody. Again, my name is Alex Merritt. I am the founding partner of Merritt Law. Who am I? That was the first slide. It was a little off. All right, I'll tell you a little bit about myself, and then I'll get into my business and what makes a good referral for me, and who makes a good referral for me. This is my wife, Allie. A lot of y'all know her already. She runs Atlanta Tech Village. They have a Buckhead location, downtown location. So if you have a startup tech venture that you want to talk to me about, I can do an intro, have to make that connection. We've been married for 16 years. What's that?
Is she in the downtown one now?
Both. Buckhead and downtown. Yep. They got 2 locations. We have a wonderful 4-year-old son named Mason.
Yes, sir.
He is a combination Tasmanian devil demon. So he's awesome. Love my boy. All right, let's see. All right, where am I from? This is Little Rock, Arkansas. If you've never been in a beautiful city, this is where I grew up. That's the Arkansas River. So I grew up in Little Rock from the time I was a little kid until I graduated high school. I went to the University of Alabama. Sorry, Stu. I know. Auburn, man. And Mike's not here, Tennessee, man. But anyway, so I went to the University of Alabama for my undergrad. Went back home. This is the University of Arkansas, in the Ozark Mountains, beautiful campus. Got my law degree, graduated in 2008. My then girlfriend, Allie, and I moved to Atlanta in 2008 after I passed the bar here in Georgia. Or I guess I moved here and then passed the bar. So we moved here in 2008. My first job was with Jones & Walden as a small boutique firm in Midtown, that county. Yes, this criminal defense attorney, we will talk. So I'm a former prosecutor. I prosecuted for 5 years in the DA's office. Those of you who have known me for a while in this chapter and other chapters have heard this story before. But this is really where I cut my teeth, trying a bunch of cases for you that, for those of you that don't know, the district attorney's office is the office that prosecutes felony cases here in DeKalb County. So I was 28 until I was, 28 years old or 33 years old. I never had tried a case before I went to the DA's office, and they threw me in the deep end. So I was trying murders, armed robberies, aggravated assaults, a lot of serious crime. And, it was stressful, it was fun. I have crazy stories, and those are for one-to-ones. That's probably not for a generic speech here, but definitely some crazy stories prosecuting there. But really, I made a good network of friends. I learned how to try cases. And after 5 years there, I went to work for the Dewaskin Law Firm, just a small firm. A lot of y'all met my former law partner, Dan Dewaskin. We are still good buddies. I worked with him for 9 years. So I was an associate for 3 years. I became a partner. I was a partner for 6 years. Small firm, we had 1 associate, 2 partners, a handful of paralegals. And that is where I shifted my personal, practice from criminal defense to personal injury. So Dan was trying to expand his firm. He had done criminal defense and personal injury. So I started doing personal injury work 10 years ago. And using my trial experience from the DA's office, it's very similar. You're prosecuting cases, you have the burden of proof, you're the one bringing the case, presenting the evidence. When you are the plaintiff's attorney in a personal injury case, there are a lot of parallels. So I'm the one bringing the case, I'm the one that has to prove my case, and I've got a defense attorney on the other side who's pushing back. All right, so last May 1st, 2024, I started my own firm, Merritt Law. Yeah. So just over a year now, thank you. Hold your applause. So that's what I do now. So can Alex please talk about something other than himself? Yes, I can. What makes a good referral and who makes a good referral? Let's get into that. So what types of cases make good referrals, right? That's the most important thing I want you to take away from this presentation. It doesn't matter if you know who my wife is or my kids. And what matters is can you send me a referral when the opportunity presents itself. Car wrecks, that's the bread and butter. Obviously, it's Atlanta, a lot of car wrecks. Who knows, hundreds, thousands of car wreck cases over my career at this point. This is an actual photo from a case that J.D. Kellum sent me many years ago. So this unfortunate soul tore up her shoulder, needed a surgery. We ended up going into a lawsuit and settled right on the evening of trial because they got scared, as they should have been. This is a case I've showed you before. Again, if you see my presentations, if you're squeamish, look away. Premises liability cases. So this is just an example. I have a few examples over here. I call this the mirror case. You can't see it down here as a mirror. It should have been nice and fastened to this wall here, except they didn't do a good job of putting it on the wall. So all you people that are in home construction or you're walking into a new home, she pulled on the mirror as she was supposed to open the doors to put her toothpaste and things behind this mirror that opens up. Except when she pulled on it for the very first time, it fell on her face, caused this scar. So we represent, this is the case I handled with the Boston law firm. We represented this young lady, college student, and for the rest of her life she'll have this scar on her face. Now she's beautiful and the scar healed well, thankfully, but traumatic experience. So that's a premises liability case. Got a Delta Sky Lounge case. John Bagwell, shout out, sent me a Delta Sky Lounge case. Slip and fall the Delta Sky Lounge. Had to file a lawsuit in that case too. They didn't want to turn over the video. Turned out they didn't keep the video. They intentionally destroyed the video. So I had to file a whole bunch of motions to force the judge to. We've got a hearing coming up, but it sounds like that case is going to settle. So the client's happy with that. Got a gun range case. This was another premises liability case that I handled. There was a gun range that had a walkway. There was a dangerous, defective condition on the ground when you would walk. It was almost impossible to see with the naked eye. But people kept tripping over this spot on the ground and falling and injuring themselves. I had a client, she tripped, she fell, she was carrying some things, she badly injured herself, she needed a surgery. Okay, and at first it was like, well, I don't know if I got anything here, you tripped while you're walking on the ground, I don't know if this is the case, right? But I did an investigation and I found out through a number of investigations that there were other people that had been falling, right? And so if you are a premises owner and you know that people are falling, and you know that these people keep injuring themselves, okay, and then somebody comes along and you've seen this happen 5, 6, 10, 20 times, and they fall and they injure themselves, now I've got a claim, now I've got a case. So I was able to handle that case. Dog bites. All right, yeah. If you know what movie that's from, shout it out. But videography. So all right, so this is I don't know how I became the dog bite expert. I sent a few dog bite cases, and I threw myself into it. Georgia bulldogs, right? So a lot of dog owners, a lot of people passionate about dogs, but there are a lot of irresponsible dog owners. So dog bite cases are actually pretty complex. If you've heard me talk about tree cases, dog bite cases are similar in that there must be notice. So a lot of people call me like, "Oh, I got bit by a dog," and they think they've got a claim. That's not enough. There has to be notice that your dog may be dangerous, if you bite somebody, or it has to be off a leash. There's a lot of different ways to be successful pursuing a dog bite case or claim. So I've handled, in Hall County, I had a 7-figure dog bite case. I currently am in suit in DeKalb County on a 6-figure dog bite case. My 80-year-old client was walking down the road, 3 dogs escaped from a house and brutally attacked her. She had 50 staples, she was in the hospital for a week. So these things do happen, and that happens to somebody who give me a call. Oh no, that's not what it looked like when I did the look earlier. All right, catastrophic injury. I have this on there just to say that people ask me, do you handle catastrophic injuries? Yes, I do. A lot of these injuries I've already talked to you about, catastrophic injuries. Severed spinal cord, I had a burst fracture in a spine case out of Stone Mountain. There's nothing different, and defense attorney will know this. Prosecutors in criminal cases will often say, a murder case is just an ag assault with a dead body. There's really no difference, right? It's just this person died, this person survived the shooting, this person died in the shooting. They're both the same type of case. Catastrophic injury case, the main thing is the stakes are higher, and you do have to know how to navigate injuries and talking to doctors and specialists and surgeons. So I do have that experience, so you feel comfortable sending me a catastrophic injury case. Let's see. All right, who makes a good referral? I'm out of time.
2 minutes.
2. So who makes a good referral? All that is what, right? So what makes a good referral? I want to talk about who makes a good referral. Other lawyers make good referral partners. I get the vast majority of my referrals are from former clients, and then close second would be other lawyers. Doctors, again, personal injury work, doctors, chiropractors. Doc Jake is not here, but he's going to be the nurses. But I was going to highlight Doc Jake, but I'll have to tell him that I gave him a shout out here in my presentation. Just briefly, what I'll say is that I also do criminal defense, and we have a lot to talk about for me. So my other practice area, I think I have about a minute left here. I do criminal defense work and temporary protective orders. I think you know what a referral looks like for a criminal defense case. Again, I used to prosecute. when I went out, that's all I did at first. For the first year or so, I was just handling the criminal defense cases. That's why Dan brought me into the Waskin law firm, because he was going to handle the PI and I was going to handle the criminal defense, and we were off and running. And very quickly, I led into the personal injury work as well, because I was really passionate about what we were doing. So criminal defense case, anybody that issued a citation, arrested, that's a good referral for me. And but sometimes I can't take those cases, so I need a good person to refer those to. That's why we should talk. Temporary protective orders. There are two types of temporary protective orders you can get in Georgia. One is to protect a victim from a stalker, stalking TPO, and the other is to protect the person from domestic violence, so a DV TPO. So hopefully you don't know anybody that needs me for any of this, of course, but if you know somebody who is injured and it's somebody else's fault, or they're arrested, or they are the victim of stalking or domestic violence. But really what I'll say in closing is, this probably goes for all the attorneys here, if you have a legal issue, come to us. All right, Aria and John, I'm sure they're nodding their heads yes. Even if it's not what we do, we have how many years of experience? I've got 17, John and Aria have been doing this longer than I have. So we have a great network of attorneys that if we don't do what it is that you need done, or your friend or family member needs done, come to us. I'm sure we can find the right lawyer with the right set of skills to handle your claim. Again, Alex Merritt, Merritt Law, and I appreciate your time.
Excellent.